Yo. Hey. Happy Sunday. Happy Bible Sunday. Welcome to the Nurse's Station. I'm Nurse. Go figure. What's going on, everybody? We're here today to do some Daniel. We're going to do some Daniel 5. I might write on that thing. It's brand new. I'm excited. I'm excited. And for those that are here, let's see, we got YouTube live chat down here because I got it on my phone this time. We're smart. We're bringing the heat. We're bringing the heat with all of the bells and whistles. We're bringing the heat. Just playing some old tunes. Playing some old tunes. Let me hit my bud here. Yo. I'm just kind of browsing Google Earth here until then, because we go really hard into these. We go really hard into these. So let's we're gonna hopefully we're gonna keep it right on the money. But we go really hard into these things, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. Ooh, I hope this isn't all mono. Maybe it is. It's still loud AF, man. Yeah, a little bit of background music. I'm gonna just browse some Star Forts here. Let's see how. Where should we go? Where should we go? I hope there's some girthers out there. There's my favorite. There's Malta. You can even see all the little lines for all the little individuals. They're just so condensed. I love it. I love it. Where did I just had somewhere in mind I was gonna go. It's gonna just show off some ones. I should put Star Forts in the tags. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna put Star Fort in the tags. Let's see what it says. I gotta go to, is that my Go Live one? Yeah. I'm new to this shit. I have no idea with YouTube. It was kinda big on Twitch. Alright, that's muted, that's good. How do you do that again? How do you change that shit? We're getting there. I'm also doing this on Steam Deck. Is that what it's called? Steam Deck? Oh, it's chugging. I can hear it. I can hear it. Where's tags? Let's add some tags. We're gonna add Star Forts. Why not? Because I feel like I'm gonna mention it enough times. I should add psychedelics. We talk about those enough as well. Oh my gosh, look at that. You can't even tell. What a what a lovely. Oh my goodness. So if you look closely here, you can read that it says, let's bring this up to full. Get rid of some of this toolbar shit. Okay, there we go. So here's Switzerland. Let's see if we can, I want to go to one where there's actually like a big circle. I want to find one of those ones, like this one. Is this Chisinau? Yeah. Where is it? Bucharest. Bucharest is beautiful. I love Bucharest. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Perfect example. Perfect example. Get some more music on. Let's see. How do we do that? We got to get one that's a little bit longer here. Ooh, here's a good one. This is an awesome one. Sauce and I actually made this one. So let's put this one on. I see the tape's holding up against the wall pretty well as well. Nice. So if you want to know why there's a big circle around there, let's just start here. We're going to look at this nice little indent here. It's like, well, how'd you get to that one? That's a good question. We're just gonna follow the circle. We're just gonna follow the circle. Ready? Boom. There's another one. Ready? We're just gonna follow the circle. Boom. Here's another one. And these are pretty big plots of land too. We're not gonna do meters. Get out of here with that. We're in America. Miles. Half a mile. Get out of here with that. It just follows the road so nicely. Look at that. Wow. It's right there. Boom. Would you look at that? It just keeps following the road. So you gotta wonder why it's like that, right? Like, why is this one decrepit? Why'd the other ones get used for like storage? I don't hop on YouTube enough to just live bullshit about Star Forts, and I should, because I miss one. Look at this. Look at this, boom. I guess this one's just simply battery of 4.5. Obviously a battery. Ba-doom. Easy. And they have to serve a function, right? They have to. Everywhere. I love it. I love looking at this, and I hope if there's anyone here that likes to look at this stuff too, just enjoy. Hit a like, because why not? We're finding more. We're finding more for everybody today. And then we're gonna look up how many I have in total and see if I have the record. I kind of can't just name this one Star Fort. So oh boy, there's the Corgi. We're gonna name this one Philip Morris Romania SRO. It's obviously a battery, but we're not gonna worry about that. Oh, Bobs, you're fine. Like, look at over here. See how there's like some really pronounced indentations? To me, that's beautiful, because that's evidence. I think these things make great foundation. Personally, and this is where, this is where Sauce likes to make the disclaimer at the end and stuff. What we talk about with the Bible is just us talking about the Bible. Because a lot of what I want to say about the Bible, let's just say I like the way we do it, because the questions are answers in a way that you didn't know you had that question. Since I'm brand new to the Bible, like I hope a lot of people are, and I hope a lot of experienced people might correct me, but when someone starts talking about it, I like to ask questions almost immediately. And it's probably a bad thing. I should shut up and listen. So whenever I don't shut up and listen, I have a lot of questions. And so the way we have it structured, and the way he has all these documents laid out for us. Let's see, where are they? The Bible study ones. These are awesome questions, because they'll lead you to information you didn't know you needed to look out for. You can't really call it a cheat sheet or like a study guide, but it's like, that's kind of what it is. And so when we stick to this, I learn a lot. But I also want to ask a lot of questions about like why these things exist, and I want to know dates. I like to know dates and stuff and times, because it needs to fall together a little bit more cleanly in that sense. That's why I'm always saying, like, the miracles are so much easier to believe than Caesar just wanted taxes or something, and the year was what the year was. The miracles are in the bag for me because it's Jesus. He could do anything. Obviously. That was the heights we reached. That was a fun one. I like that one. Let's bring on this one. I don't have anything to play that one with. Oh, that's BS. I know I do. Is it downloaded or something? Maybe it isn't. Let's pull up this one then. Actually, no. Pull up this one. I love this one. Need to fix the timeout on my phone. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. It's probably going to be loud, so let's bop that down. It's still going to be pretty loud, so let's bop that down. Whatever. Background. Get in the background, my little more in the background. That's fine. Back to the girth. Is the camera falling again? I don't need it catching that. There we go. That actually kind of saves my eyes. And would you look at that? We're even filling out more of this. This circle's making a lot more sense. So I want to know, like, why these are here. Like, what were these doing during the Bible? Like, we need a Game of Thrones cutaway to, like, what this shit was going on. Let's see, is there any more? So it goes here, here. I'm not going to apologize, by the way, for snapping around real fast on this. This is Disneyland. I was like, there's no way that's Disneyland. Divertipark? Divertiland. Divertiland. As opposed to the horizontal land. Maybe this was one. You think so? Yeah. That's another reason why I went to switching on everything mode. Let's see if we can get some outline here. Oh yeah. Can we get a man down? We cannot get a man down. But we can get some information in about the battery. Boom. And then there's always these train tracks. There's always these giant circuits. Look at that. Like, this one looks like it was flooded. This one's still quite operational. I think you'll find it quite operational. What's this one doing over here? Okay, so it kind of does like a little veer on the circle. Where's the one over here? There's got to be one over here. Look how it blurs out a little bit. See how it goes to like the flat? Can't really tell the topography here. It might be, doesn't look like there was anything there. I think this could have been something, maybe? Nah, getting too lost in the weeds on that. This one was probably something. That's definitely... It's so obvious. But I want to know why they were all in such a perfect circle. How old is Bucharest? One of these days I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to organize these as well. But I'm deluding myself in saying that. Ooh, I hope people on the chat know what the Great Wall of Africa is as well. Leave some comments. Ooh, talk about it. Maybe I'll do a video about it. If that's how YouTube works. That's a big ass plane. Oh, would you look at that? I found another one. Dude, these things are insane. Why is that there? Why is that there? And then they put whatever the shit is. What the hell is that? Billboard farm? That's a great place for a billboard farm. Personally, I think that's a great place for it. Let's just keep tacking them in, keep adding them in. We're going to put this one by the naming convention as well. Not by the actual name. Even though I probably could. Magurel. We need to look at an old map of this. We really do. We need to look at an old map of this. Let's see. Sauce ain't on yet. That's alright. Because I got all day. That's the good thing. Ooh, would you look at that? Look at this, look at this, look at this. See how this one's right on the edge of this perfect circle? Why is that? What was this doing back in the Bible? Thankfully, Google Earth has this cool new little feature where we can go back in time. And I think we're going to do that. We're going to go back as far as we can as it's available. And then we're just going to go little by little. See if the Google UN will let us see what was going on. So it was pretty much always like this. Why though? Why that is like? Oh, that's so cool to me. I think we just need to do it. Bucharest. Old maps. Let's see what the best old maps we can find for that are. We're definitely not going to find anything great. If I wasn't on this device, I could probably pull up this giant ass library of information that I have. I don't even know how I'd go about finding that. What's it called? It's like Biblia. It's not bibliography. Britannica. I'm pretty sure. Britann. Relevant. It's got like a couple gigabytes of maps in the database. I really want to know where that is. Hold on. Stolen history, 30 GB. Pretty sure it was like 30 GB. Yeah, give me that link. Mega link. Oh, what? If we go to... Is this the better link? Yeah, the BL Kings topography map. I want to go back to the... Is it the photo stream? Is that what it's called? Come on, I just want to get the whole British Library one. Yes. Awesome. Nice. This is what I'm talking about. Like, here's some Berlin. Let's humor this. Ready? We're gonna do Berlin. Hopefully Bucharest is in like the next couple pages, just because, you know, letters work a lot. Berlin, Buch, stuff. Let's check this one out. Ready? Berlin. Where's the north-south thingy? The compass. My goodness. Oh my gosh, that's detailed. I bet you most of Berlin is still like that. If we go back to the photo stream, let's go to Berlin real quick. We're gonna name this guy. We didn't put a pin down on him. Ford Batteria 14. Oh no, we actually got a real name on this one. Oh my gosh, it's a long name on that one too. Star told. We're gonna take that one out. We're gonna do De Apparer. El Bucurestiuliu. I really hope I got that pronunciation right. Alright, we're gonna go Berlin real quick. Let's go check and see if that old map is correct. I got a hunch. I got a hunch it is. Jeez, this is a mess. Jeez, this is a mess. Mitt. I'm pretty sure Mitt is closed. We got some Bergs. That's got to be Germany, right? Bergs. Berlin. Rothenturm. Oh, just go to Germany. It'd be real easy. Yeah, it'd be real easy if I could see Germany. I didn't know there was this much blue in the green part of the earth. The Osnabrück, Munster. I'm totally flipped around as well. I need to get back to north. Okay, I just saw Bremen. There's Bonn, Switzerland. Munster, Neinberg. Couldn't. Okay, we gotta be close to Germany. Neinberg. And then there's definitely this like theme of these veins, which I really love. I really love that. Leipzig. Oh my gosh, where's Berlin? Is that it? Or was that the same place? Metz. It's really hard to get your bearings with all this shit. And a lot of blue. Okay, so I was kind of going in the right direction. Let's do a little bit of mapping. Let's do a little bit of mapping here. Ready? Old Berlin. So this is north. Okay. Where's the, is that the Seine? We're going to do some mapping. We're going to get rid of the everything label. We're actually just going to put it on clean. Okay, so here's our little nub. There's our nub. We need to make it smaller. I got to point to the screen and figure this out. Zoom down. Dehance. Dehance. It's probably still too big. Oh, it's pretty close. And then the bottom of it would be there. Gotta zoom out a little bit more. In a little. Dehance. That's pretty close. Oh, I think I see it. There's the tip right there. So it's not perfect. Okay, but I can see this little nub down here. Okay. Now this is what always gets me about these star forts, is how deep they really are in their shape, and I don't really know in their function. So let's just go around and let's just map the Berlin one, right? So they're going to hit bottom here. I'm pretty sure I saw the bottom there. And then I want to say like the top goes there. So it eventually makes this big thing. But you see how you can really tell? You can really tell where the old shape was. And this is where people say like, oh, it's just old German, it's an old German architecture and stuff. I don't know, man. It's like I really don't know. It's a lot of material. It's in very inconvenient places. Levers and pulleys and slaves are usually the excuses or answers I get. It's like, oh, they just had slaves. Ah, you can't just throw bodies at a canal. I hate to tell you, but you just can't. But that's not a super solid example. So unfortunately, we have to keep diving. We have to keep digging. Oh my God, this is page 497. Is there a way to search within? Oh my goodness. Okay, yes. Bucharest. That's got to be easier than what we were doing. It's got to be. Oops, there's no... Am I spelling it wrong? I wasn't corrected. There's no matches for Bucharest. Okay, well, what about Romania? There's got to be something about Romania. Safe search is on. What do you mean there's none? See, this is what I was at. That's why I was asking. Is there even a search function in there? I don't even care, because we're going to just look at the quality of these maps for just a second. Oh my goodness. What are we even talking about? Look at this. That's insane. It's really well done. Okay, so this gives me a little bit more belief that we could have done something like that. But then even then, it's like, okay, is this underwater or is this just supported? It's pretty fucking impressive. But even the damn map, dude. And look what we have right here. You even have a star fort there. Königstein. What are the odds? I bet we can find you. Königstein. Is that how you spell it even? That's a really, really deep map. Königstein. I don't even know where the hell this is. Someone's just drawing awesome, awesome maps. Back in the day. And I'm so thankful for it. Okay, that actually does look like it. Yep, and I even have it. Look at that. It was right. Oh my goodness. How did we get so lucky? Just a random search. Oh my gosh, look at the base of this. This is insane. It even comes all the way down here. Oh my word. Look at this. That is gorgeous. They just happened to carve it into the stone. They're just really good at chiseling. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I want to know what this place was doing during the Bible. It's going to say it wasn't around during the Bible. Let's figure it out. Ready? I'm interested now. I'm sleuthing. I don't care that no one's here to watch it. We're sleuthing. To anybody that watches this back, God bless you. Thank you for watching the Nurse's Station. Feel free to do whatever you like. But definitely check out the videos of the dog and the other Bible videos. Whoa, what is this? Okay, so hold on. The oldest written record of a castle is found in a deed dating back to the year 1233, in which a witness is named as Burgrave Gebert of Stein. At that time, the region was split between the Kingdom of Bohemia and the Bishopric of... What the shit? You see how this stuff just keeps going? You can just dive in forever. Quit asking for fucking money. Get a job. Dude, what is this? Oh. Yeah, sure. I'm sure we built that. I'm sure we built that. It's like that, all that cast stone. Oh, no. Who the hell believes that? Oh my gosh, that's so intricate. Hold on, I want to see how well... Okay, so you guys can't see shit with that on there. I apologize for that. I will apologize for that. I don't deserve your worth. Look at this shit. What is this? I want to know what these little check marks are all over the building. That's really neat. And then we build bike racks, guys. That's what we do. We put this out there in the front. Look at this. You got a little map of that. Holy shite. So this thing has been around for close to 1,000 years. Definitely closer to 1,000 years than closer to it than I am in age to it, that's for sure. This is nuts. What are we even looking at? They were just really, really, really good at chiseling back in the 12s. So you got 23. Let's just do some quick math. Hold on. 23-acre rock rises 790 feet. Okay, we're switching up too many things. Oh, man. So it's sandstone. So this is massive. I'm not even going to use the whiteboard because I'm not even going to be able to conceptualize what numbers I damn need. The fortress for centuries was used as a state prison. Of course it was. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Sure. That's nuts. You're telling me. Oldest written record of that thing. It only goes back to then? I believe it. I believe it. Hold the phone. Gonna go here real quick. Feel bad because I like to do this with sauce because of the Bible aspect, and we have the questions and stuff. So I feel bad if I'm like misleading you guys, if you were here for that. But I'm also not delusional, and I see that there's 0 people here, so I'm not gonna fret real quick. It's just exciting to be live, guys. Quit asking for money, Wiki. It's exciting to be live again, guys. I appreciate you guys. If you do watch, let's see if we can find some more music. Ooh, yeah. Throw this on. No, just play the fucking file, please. It's from my own drive. Bow, bow. This is some good sleuthin' music. A little loud sleuthin' music, but it's a little too not loud. There we go. This was a lot easier with 2 screens, but hey, we do what we gotta do. I'm just perplexed at this. I love finding stuff like this because I remember making sauce at PowerPoint-ish, where I was like, hey, look at all this crazy stuff. And I'm just gonna say like it's kind of wild that it's there, right? This is one of those things where I'd be like, can you guys explain just like that? Like any of it? They're just really, really good at that. It took a lot of time, I bet. Like generational building. Oh, well, humans just built differently. Well, if you could, they were... It looks more like the mountain is glued to the ramparts than it does chiseled or built. Stone laid. Crazy to believe that. It's like I want to know if these are still archways here. I'd love to know that. I'd love to know, again, like, yes, here. Okay, so they were just really good at walls. They were just really good at walls. Believe it when I see it. I just want one example of us doing something like this that isn't so far back in history we have to just like say, trust me, bro. Because this looks like this is the result of like washing away like the ocean. Like the ocean disappears and this is what you're left with. This is like a barnacle. That's what this is. This is a barnacle. All that crap on the walls. It's just barnacles. And this is what we build. This is what we do. Let me see if we can get a man on the floor, because I want to put a comparison about this. I want to bitch. I want to bitch. Because this is utterly frustrating. This little circle building, this little awning, that's the kind of crap we do now. Where is that? Wrong man. Wrong man. I need... Even just like here. This is utterly ornate. Yeah, 1779. And that makes it believable. Got it. Those are beautifully newly made. Like, stuff like that was built into it. Where is that crappy little elevator? No, no, no. I'm not letting you guys get away with that. I want to see this crapshoot of an elevator here. I want to prove. I guess I don't have anything to prove, but let's see if we can just see it. Because this is more akin to the stuff that we would build, right? Like that. This is the kind of shit we've done, in my opinion. From everything I've seen, I just have a hard time. This man's a legend. Because look at this. This is the flimsy. This is the stuff. Hello, yeah. This mic is trash, but hey, you know. This stream is new. But these bones is old. Look at this. Flimsy, rail thin, glass. The glass is kind of... It's not even glass. Ooh. I want to know where that goes. I want to know why that door opens and where that goes. Thank you, Armin G. Sendner, for this beautiful... Look at this. We cram stuff into that stone. We do not build that stone. How much knowledge was lost in between whoever built this and us. Gorgeous. The architecture is just fantastic. Oh my gosh. And then it just goes out to here too. So it's like, why does it go out there? Why is it so ornate? For all of this distance, all of this acreage. Because it probably doesn't even account for like the fact that this little chunk out here carved out. Same stuff. This thing is massive. All the way down here. You can tell just because of the terracing. Just magnificent. Wow, and then it goes all the way down this way. It's just so cool to me. Wow. Oh, that's the kind of stuff that does my heart good. Because I forget how many cool star forts there are, because I have 5,100 star forts, according to my little Google Earth PowerPoint counter. It's 5,100 star forts, which again, not surprising, given the blue. So that was really cool, though. Did you see what we just did there? We took a little thing. We took a little star on the map. We took this Königstein, and we found it. And we found that they were right. It is a castle. And then if we go up the road, I bet we'll find this castle here near Perna. You want to try that? What is this? What is this? Oh! What is that? Oh my word. Ooh, what do you think? Do you think, chat, that this is the one they're talking about, close to Perna, or are we just not are we not even on the same playing field there? Whoa. This is like Mount Rushmore type rock here. This is cool. Yeah, that's really cool with like the carve, the sort of mawing. It's brutal. Oh my word, that is crazy. I'm starting to wonder though if that is the one, because it's got the same shape. Yo, that's beautiful. These mountains here, just no right being that pretty. And please tell me that's forest wall. Okay, I was gonna say, if that's like just carved, don't get me started on Italy again, because I'll go all day on Italy. You got this thing again over here. I bet you these are castles that were just like scraped from the earth. Look at this. Look at this. That is so neat. These massive stones just fell. Wait, what is that? Do we see brick? Nope. I got excited there for a second. Because if we saw brick here, I could at least say something. If there's arches, I could at least say something. But this is just fascinating structure. There's really no rhyme or reason to it from what I can see. Let's just did a cursory glance. So there's Königstein, there's this thing. So it does, it kind of has this nice little outcrop to it. Nice, those would be like, outposts. It'd be like little outposts. Oh, I'm starting to see a bigger shape though. If you zoom out, you can kind of see this giant shape here. But we're not really seeing that in the other picture. So let's just go up the map and go to Perna. And we are going to have ourselves one here. So we did find the one here. And this one actually does look a little bit more like the shape. It's got the longer, elongated top. Okay. And then it goes down the mountainside a little bit. Let's see. We're going to... And then it goes all the way up to Newtstadt, which it is. That is what it looks like pretty much today. I saw a huge one, though. I saw a massive star. Where was it? Königstein was such a good find. Just such a great one. Random one to pull up. Such a great random star fort to just find and pull up. It doesn't really say that it's like cradled in, but it does have these mountains, so there was nothing there back in the day. Okay. It's still beautiful though. I can't believe we're not going to find Bucharest, but we're going to find this. Also, this starts to make sense when you think about it. Look at this, because... Hold on. So this talks about a well. The well of Königstein. Look at that. Okay. So that does kind of outline what we're looking at here a little bit. I mean, this is definitely a way more glorified version of it. I would imagine this is closer to what it would have actually looked like as the guys that drew it. It's like an underwater windmill, underwater water wheel. Is there a better depiction of that? Now, what the shit is this? What the shit is this? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're telling me this is real? Are you kidding me? Wait, hold on. That had a date on it. I was right here. 1775. Oh, well, it's convenient. That looks badly drawn in there. Almost. Golly gee, that's definitely what a cannon looked like. I love that cannonballs are always bigger in the pictures than the cannons. That one's always fun to me. This is not a Bible stream, I guess, anymore. This is just me talking about Google Earth. But again, I like to think of all this stuff in different lenses, like through different lenses. Little Seasons, the Little Seasons lens. That's a really fun lens to look at things through. If that's your persuasion. What's another good one? I like the mud flood personally. I think the mud flood's pretty accurate. I don't see how you get giant things like that covered up in mud without a mud flood. Is that a wall? Like, there's just so much depth. So much depth to the earth. It makes me so curious. You know, like, good example. We got this here. Hold on, let me make sure I can see it. We got this here, which is the last, not the last one, but one of them. Like the last penny. 2025 penny. Well, when you look at old coins, you see different figures on them. You see all these different faces. Sorry about all this. Sorry about all that. Sorry for the cracklings. Display. Oh, what was I saying? Like even here, it's just really deep, really just well structured stuff that would take like an absolute nightmare of city planning to do today because you'd have to level so much. Like think whatever you want of the line. I don't think the line is a good idea. The line in Saudi Arabia, but it's a big project, right? Like that giant ass new roller coaster they're building. That's a new project at least. They're big. They're ambitious. Like I don't think we do stuff like that anymore. I just don't think we do. Well, what if we follow this road up here? What if we follow this road? The water road. You get these nice little cutout shapes too. Which are kind of nice. Sometimes they can be a little informative. Like this one here, it does kind of show a little bit of a nice canal right there. Which again is hard enough to do on its own. And you see a lot of these titty mounds. A lot of them titty mounds. Everywhere. Them titty mounds is everywhere. Is this like a Star City kind of thing? It's got some wings. Got some wings, but nothing, nothing definitive. And again, this is only one map here. So let's stop with whatever that map is. I was mostly just blown away because you can tell this isn't. Oh my gosh, we were looking at like a zoomed in part, weren't we? You can tell it's the same map maker. You guys, I hate to tell you this, but it's sideways. Did you guys read Sideways Ancient Ease? Because I don't. Oh god. Fuck. Schwerbington. Mapageotic Circuli. Metalliferi. Saxony. It even has depictions up there and stuff. I definitely want to talk more about this stuff. I definitely do. I want to talk more about this stuff. I can't read sideways in these. So we're going to skip an ease that. Oh my word. Oh my word. The beauty, the gorgeousness, the grandeur. Then you just get some watercolor coffee stains. Even the city planning back then on this, like what is this? Where is that? Upside Downsville. I'd really like. Okay, so it is Berlin. And there's an octagon. It even says that. Look at all the grids and shit even back then. 1765. Yeah, I think the Germans are just too proud to admit that they didn't do any of that shit on their own. I think that they just found it all and said, mine. Like some of these castings. What? That's that's a cast. Is this a casting for like hallway ornamentation? This is Iowa. Geological Survey of Iowa. Yo. Let's find some Harry Potter wands. Crazy. How do you even build like I don't know what that is. I'm just talking out my I'm just gawking at that. Let's get back to that photo stream, matey. Here, I'm gonna do this real quick. Da, 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 da. Let's do this real quick. This isn't gonna make sense if you read it back, I'm sure. Oh, there's sauce. Isaiah just woke up. Oh man, I don't want you to just jump on. Just waking upsville. I just changed. You're probably not even watching this because you're. I've been sleuthing. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I don't even know what I'm looking at, man. Shit's gorgeous. Ooh. Ah. Phrenology. Oh, that's so cool. They got tons of shit. Look at this. They even got chemistry. Advanced. That's advanced. Ah, fuck. Hold on. Where's sauce? I'll hop in Discord. Which Discord you gonna be in? Better yet, call me, will ya? Ah, there we go. Probably gonna be quiet. Good morning.
Good morning. Weird ass
Welcome.
dreams, man.
Weird dreams. Talk to me. Did I lose him already? Oh, he's muted. I didn't mute him. What is this? Diagram showing the time of high water and the winter season. These guys were learning. 1857. And now we got AI to do all that for us. I don't consciously use AI. Okay, we got to skip a lot of these because we're not getting like any actual maps. We're just getting pictures, more Harry Potter ones. What is this? What on earth am I looking at here? That's like cell material or... This is just an up-down view of some Americaville. Wow. Wow, that's neat. I haven't been having that many dreams lately, now you mention it. Oh.
You'll do that.
At least I'm not in the hotel anymore. The hotel was a bitch. I hated that arc. I don't even know what I learned. Lowesoft Beach. Let's go there. We did some sleuthing for Starfort stuff. Found cool stuff. Lowesoft. No, that's not typing. I want to see if this Lowesoft Beach has one of those Saltaires. It might. Where is this, though? Ooh, okay, yeah. Definitely some awesomely reinforced walls and canals and stuff. Um, okay, so yeah, it's definitely. We're
Oh,
looking for this. This is Belgium, but it's the Nest Point, so this is not Belgium. It's connected to the UK. It can't be Belgium. It just looks like a whole star point. I don't have anything around there. And I'm just trying to find this esplanade. Probably doesn't exist anymore because they were all built of wood. You awake over there?
yeah, just trying to get something in me.
No worries. I don't even know what I gotta say about the fucking UK. There's so much. So much that's just not there. I think that's under sea level. That's where they're building their giant new train. See all the land cleared out. That's gonna be such a beautiful eyesore. It probably parallels awesome looking stuff like this is probably definitely an old star fort. It's the one downfall of not being able to search on this British library. Can't search by title of anything. But it's such a verbose library of stuff. There's Greece. I would love to find. Oh, now what is this? There's a cool little meshing of like. Okay, so you got some archways mixed with some like maritime stuff. Okay, so that's a better welding of the worlds. It's Odessa. More sideways and ease. You would think history would look more like that, at least like pictures. Man, their sheet music went so hard. Oh, come on. The Cross of Life is what this one's called. As we pass along Earth's journey through its scenes of sin and strife, teach us how to bear. Is that on? Oh, on bending, gracious Lord, the cross of life. The fall, though fall heavy seem our burden, and the way be lone and long, in thy over-failing mercy make us steadfast, true, and strong. It's just your U's are upside down back in the day for some reason. Like they're just not the right side up. We just decided we don't like U's to look like that anymore. That's how I'm gonna. That's how I'm gonna interpret that. The Lord help us, and Savior, when sin's dark power is rife, that we may bear for thy sake the heavy cross of life. Wow. Really old sheet music. Like real old. Got a lot of these like one-liners. What is this nonsense bridge? I don't believe that. This is why I like the Bible sauce. I like Bible streams. I'm looking at like all these things. It's like, oh yeah, we built that 200-foot tall train bridge. 2 foot wide.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to believe that God walked out of a furnace untouched. Ooh, found something. What is this? So there's the Elbe. I have such a hunch about the Elbe. What's that called? 1628. That's the Stower something. I'm just gonna search that up, right?
Look at that Star Fort complex.
That's what I'm saying. I'm really interested in where this is. I'm trying to kind of ascertain some letters. Belladring. See if we can find Belladring. Is that how they spelled it?
I'm 98% sure that you probably have it bookmarked already somewhere.
Yeah, but that's kind of the thing. Like, if I could get back to, I mean, you could watch it earlier, obviously, but this is what caught my eye. If I could find this old map. Oh no, even just that. Hold the phone. We'll get back to the Star Forts. What is this? Constructed by Major James M. Davis. That's a big circle. I bet we can find out where that is too. I gotta show you Königstein, and just the maps are so right. The old maps were just so right. Like this long one here, whatever this Star Fort is, like wherever that is, I guarantee you it's there. In Stadt, I bet that's Stadt. Like I bet that's there. I bet that's still there. Because that one's that one's really detailed. The one that I found not too long ago on stream was actually like these ones are insane. I'm not even getting into that. I ain't even got time. There's like 30 of them in a row there. That guy's got a nice mustache.
They look like a spike protein.
They kind of do. They kind of have that, yeah, why do they look like a virus? That's a really interesting point. I'm really glad you pointed that out. Okay, here. I love this one. So, we was just looking at this mostly because this is a really in-depth part of the map. Is to show how this well system works or whatever's going on here, this hi-ho, off to work we go ass shit. But then I saw this thing. I'm like, oh, what is that? Königstein. So I was like, okay, cool. That'd be awesome if I could find like a perfect 6-pointed star like that. So let's go look for it. So I searched it up, and we found this monster. It's not a 6-pointer at all. And I did have it bookmarked, but again, like I wouldn't have remembered this. But you just got this conker. Just beastly. And the walls are perfectly fit with the stone. Goes all the way down into the terracing. It's like, sure, I had this one bookmarked, but it's like I haven't been as skeptical as I could be about it because this is nuts. So obviously we have to look about it, and we find that it's 23 acres, with the oldest document about it existing being at least as old as the 12s, like 1200. So I'm thinking, throw me a damn bone. That don't make no damn sense. But it appears that this well thing that they got going on, it appears that that is true. It's just drawn differently. It's not like this perfect square well like, Koenigston, but it's not a map of Koenigston. But it does
Mhm.
seem to show that like that they kind of account for that. Like that's what they were kind of doing because of all the mountains.
Huh.
I have no idea why they drew the compass this ornate. Beautiful. This just again, this map is gorgeous.
Hmm.
And so when I saw Koenigston, I was like, I gotta go look. And I found the
Mind
map.
you, look how much effort was put into that map, though. Like that's not just someone drawing freehand. So,
No, this is, and again, the accuracy of it is what really strikes me because it even shows. So we got Koenigston, and then we got these like big humps of mounds. They're like these mini Everests. Okay, well let's go to that. Let's just go a little south, and let's go see those little mounts. And you can see that they do indeed, they do exist. I think there were other things very much like that fortress on them because they got this like Mount Rushmore-esque style cut to them. They look like they could probably be good foundations of something. But again, they're all there in this topography. It cuts right there over this Nickelsdorf area. And that is exactly what we see.
you zoom into those stone again.
So this one is, I found this one over here first, and it kind of looked a little bit more pointed, but this one is a bigger example. This reminds me of Mount Rushmore in a lot of ways, because behind Mount Rushmore, like this is where the face of Mount Rushmore would be carved. The back of it just looks like this clawed, just this death throes sort of carving.
I don't want to send you spiraling, but it kind of reminds me of like 3D printed like plastic scrap. You know how it's like the remains of like kind of like the ugly side of an art piece that isn't meant to be looked at, you know? Or maybe that was like at one point something, but it looks so diced and weathered.
This is why I say it looks like it could have been something, because the
Hmm.
sides of this are basically the same material. And now this is actually, I'm really glad I picked this corner because this it's these little outcrops, these bulges that make it look more like a barnacle than it does like an actual. Because you could say, oh well, they built the tower, right? Okay, here's the tower.
No,
Well,
they
then why is there the wall down here? Because like it's literally all built. So the black
I
stuff
would say
is pretty. It's like the bottom
some of
of a
that
boat,
some of that's probably naturally formed and they just built around it, or
but it matches up
it,
to the top.
right. But look down below, like there is like stone and it was carved and it looked like it was brought to a certain point for stabilization. See how it goes outward? Yeah. So
So again, like someone probably found those mountain pieces, like you were saying, they found the 3D scraps like that are over here, and it
mhm.
looks like they buttressed them. It looks
Hmm.
like they took little parts like you would see maybe like down here, and then they just built stone up. So that's why I was looking at the base of this one. I wanted to find evidence of them doing that to this, because you're not
Oh,
going to
look
see
at the
anything else.
chunks that fell over to your right there. You see them? I keep go like wrap around uh counterclockwise.
Oh, these ones.
Uh, a little further. I'm letting your stream catch up. Yep, you see him now. Yeah,
I did. I noticed those. Massive.
that's cool.
I can't get too much detail on them because I can't get a little man down in the forest. I can get a man over here, though. Okay, that's great.
Ooh,
Just because
whoa.
there's literally no evidence of us doing nothing to it is why it's more believable that we did nothing to it. That makes tons of sense. Like, there's no brick shape here. You know, you can't tell that they use different types of brick. There's no buttressing here. It's pretty clean shaven, but it's like it actually is because like stuff just fell off. Let's get into that. There we are. Look at that. That's some ultra hand style block. The whole thing's just gone. Yeah, so like that I believe. That's, you know, that's pretty understandable. Stuff falls away. But no, that's a good point. They probably saw that it was weak in those areas. And then they put those things up. Okay, that makes some sense. That makes some sense. But again, the foundation looks pretty strong. Foundation looks pretty strong. You got these nice differences here. Just sleuthing around, you know? Like this is one you just see from space. You're like, oh, that's a big one. But then you start looking at it. Really like that. Because again, like if this is saying, oh, it's almost 1,000 years old. Well, shit, some of this stuff is, you know, as old as the Bible. I want to know what it was doing during the Bible time. I want to know what was happening for that season. That one I don't think is that old, but mountains are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Dresden has anything. Just some really ornate circuitry and grids and stuff. The maps are just fantastic. I don't even believe, I don't really even believe the maps half the time. It's because they're too good. There's Berlin. We did a little bit of a dive into Berlin. I like this one here. This one says it's 1765, and you can see that there's all the grids are already there. This little octagon's already there. The quarry's already there. It's like my joke is, you know, I think Germans are just too proud to admit that they didn't build that shit. They kind of found it. It's like, oh no, we are so good at architecture. I'd be good at architecture too if I had a good spawn point. This is a really good spawn. Shit's built. I got a warped fucking perception of time though, because 1600s, it's really not that long ago. That would take a lot of digging, man. That takes a lot of digging. Then you got to do all the digging, and then you got to have a guy that does the maps of it. So it's got to be done for him to do the maps. Like, is this one just about to blow me off the damn charts? Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Oh my gosh. Just masterfully done. Absolutely masterfully done. Cartography is such a lost art. I like to think that this is their phone book. Like there was just 16 people in that district and 39 people in
Yeah.
that one, and his address is 550. I mean, what is that? That's foreignese. I can't read that. Ilhuaner Garlafon. Yeah, like these zip codes. It's so cool. I'm kind of glad you overslept a little bit because I've wanted to just like look at some of this stuff on stream for a long time. Just put it out there.
Oh, I'm not glad that I overslept, but I'm glad that you found more stuff to do.
Well, again, from the perspective of like where was this stuff in the Bible? Like this is Europe, so it's not gonna be a really great translation because we don't that's not the time of the Bible. But when you find little nuggets that take you back to 1233, it's like, well, we might have some hope actually.
Hmm.
I just like I don't think this was painted maybe. Like this is crazy. Crazy in depth. Oh, that's a stamp. Okay. Never mind. Stamps existed. But that's really, really good.
Do you remember? Was it? Did we finish Daniel 5?
I don't even think we started Daniel 5. I read it the other day on my own. It was a pretty good read. It was a pretty good read. We did finish 4 though.
No, that's right. 4 was split up, so we're on Daniel 5 now. 4, session 8, Daniel 5.
Oh, there's a 2-part map. Oh my gosh, it's like a 3-part map. I can't believe the quality of some of these. Like the quality of the picture scan. They almost had like they had to have had like lidar technology or something. Like the way the smudges are for the mounds, that's really detailed. And maybe it's just me, but straight lines are very impressive back in these days. Getting straight lines like that, not on paper and like in the real world. This is Das Land, by the way. Yes, I love it. This is Das Land. Yeah, these people were just trying to make sense of what they found. Like I don't. It's like they were taking account after a tragedy or something. That's why I think the mud flood is a relevant point in history to bring up as like a speculation thing. Because again, like this is really good quality in a very short amount of time, and I get the quality was just there. Like they were better at this stuff. But it's like there was a sense of urgency to it because like as soon as we got to the 1950s, it was just like we gotta destroy everything. It's like the second we had Google Earth, they were just like, fucking tear it down.
Yeah.
They know too much. As soon as the internet springs up, they're just like, yeah, forget those maps. Didn't happen. Never coulda. Some of the stuff, though, I gotta say that I am giving a little bit more credibility towards. I watched a guy explain like what happens to the sand and shit, like the Grand Canyon, or what happened at the Grand Canyon. That makes sense. Okay, given enough time, but it's like a nuke also does that to stuff.
Just faster.
Yeah, just really fast, and then like there's a lot of history, so I'm always just. It's like, what if it did though? Why is there Trinitite in places there's never been nuclear detonations? Stupid me. This is neat. This is real neat. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, I bet if you just dig up all of this, you'll find just like that. Stuff like that. And I bet you'll just find it everywhere on Earth. That's my claim. Prove me wrong. If anyone's watching, in the comments, prove me wrong. The onus is on you. My evidence is that they dug a little bit up and found a lot of it. That's my claim. Prove me wrong.
Found it.
Oh, you found proof that fast?
Mm-hmm. No, I found the PDF.
This is a star city, though. I'm really glad I zoomed into that. Holy cow! This is Dresden, right? No wonder they had to bomb it. Oh, I mean, there's a pattern of that, sadly. Kerch and some of the places in Ukraine right now, unfortunately. Maybe the Great Wall of Africa. Who knows? That was bizarre. That's still bizarre. We did cross over 5,100 star forts today, by the way, in what we were doing, so that was fun.
Let's go.
5,100. That's a lot. We're gonna throw this all in one tab. I don't know why I wouldn't. I do have to use the restroom, so I'm gonna do that. Did we get it in document download? Bible study. Sweet. How long is Daniel 5?
31.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. We'll do this. And
I shall too. I'll be
yeah.
back.
Let's find a tune real quick. Throw on a little tune while I go have a quick smoke. Go to the bathroom. Where the hell my music is? I wish I knew what was gonna be long enough, but I don't care. We're just gonna put this on. Where's my OBS? Sure. Oh, I need a BRB is what I need. Let's just back to the intro. We're gonna get this. There you go.
croissant. Croissant.
Croissants, we're back. All right. Good stuff. All right, we're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
just go ahead and play Daniel 5. Let's do the old switcheroony here. Get him pulled over that way. Cool. Daniel 5. Make sure we got...
Belteshazzar.
No, Belshazzar. It's not Daniel. That was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, ooh, he named his kid kind of after him. Ooh, let's get good.
Ooh.
Daniel gets good.
Daniel 5. Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords, and drank wine before the 1,000. Belshazzar, whiles he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines might drink therein. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines drank in them. They drank wine, and praised the gods of gold, and of silver, of brass, of iron, of wood, and of stone. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, Whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom.
Sounded awful familiar.
Then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. Then was King Belshazzar greatly troubled, and his countenance was changed in him, and his lords were astonished. Now the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house. And the queen spake and said, O king, live for ever. Let not thy thoughts trouble thee, nor let thy countenance be changed. There is a man in thy kingdom in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And in the days of thy father light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, was found in him, whom the king Nebuchadnezzar thy father, the king, I say thy father, made master of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. Forasmuch as an excellent spirit and knowledge and understanding, interpreting of dreams, and showing of hard sentences, and dissolving of doubts were found in the same Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar, now let Daniel be called, and he will show the interpretation. Then was Daniel brought in before the king. And the king spake and said unto Daniel, Art thou that Daniel which art of the children of the captivity of Judah, whom the king my father brought out of Jewry? I have even heard of thee, that the spirit of the gods is in thee, and that light and understanding and excellent wisdom is found in thee. And now the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought in before me, that they should read this writing, and make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But they could not show the interpretation of the thing. And I have heard of thee, that thou canst make interpretations, and dissolve doubts. Now if thou canst read the writing, and make known to me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about thy neck, and shalt be the third ruler in the kingdom. Then Daniel answered and said before the king, Let thy gifts be to thyself, and give thy rewards to another. Yet I will read the writing unto the king, and make known to him the interpretation. O thou king, the Most High God gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom, and majesty, and glory, and honor. And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him. Whom he would he slew, and whom he would he kept alive, and whom he would he set up, and whom he would he put down. But when his heart was lifted up, and his mind hardened in pride, he was deposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High God ruled in the kingdom of men, and that he appointeth over it whomsoever he will. And thou his son, O Belshazzar, hast not humbled thine heart, though thou knewest all this, but hast lifted up thyself against the Lord of heaven. And they have brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords, thy wives, and thy concubines, have drunk wine in them. And thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold, of brass, iron, wood, and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know. And the God in whose hand thy breath is, and whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified? Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written. And this is the writing that was written: Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene, God hath numbered thy kingdom, and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances, and art found wanting.
Oh.
Peres, thy kingdom is divided, and given to the Medes and Persians. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet, and put a chain of gold about his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him, that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. In that night was Belshazzar the king of the Chaldeans slain. And Darius the Median took the kingdom, being about 62 years old.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's an easy follow, but that's a good one. Boy, do I like that one. It is a little
Chance,
different.
They gave him how many chances? But they gave him quite a few.
I mean, I'm going to know Daniel better than any book. Anyone that watches is going to know Daniel better than any book until the next one. And then we're going to know that one just as well. But the way that it's structured, the way that the questions are structured, the way it's capping off. It's like a Dragon Ball Z episode. I keep saying it. It's like last time on Dragon Ball Z. And then at the end, it's like, well, coming up on Dragon Ball Z. And you got a good 7 minutes of just brutally deep content.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what this is. I love it. So, after reading Chapter 5, we realize that at least 2 of the Babylonian kings suffered from a similar problem. With that problem escalated due to their own pride. How does this negativity affect both leaders? Was Nebuchadnezzar his dad? Yeah. Yeah, because Daniel can't live through like 3 people. Even though he like kind of does, but...
Yeah, like why can't he? He was a kid for the first one.
True, and they do be killing people.
Yep.
With the problem that escalated due to her own pride, how does negatively affect both leaders? Well, the one of them got killed. Or are they talking about how he was like disturbed? How he couldn't understand things?
These 2 of the Babylonian kings suffered from a similar problem. The problem escalated With that problem escalated due to their own pride, how did this negatively affect both leaders?
Kind of a, several prong to that. So he was troubled. But if they're talking about pride, one of them that got killed, I would argue that's negatively affecting. But the other guy didn't get killed for it. Because they're talking about pride. They're not talking about the interpretation of an image.
They brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes. So they took out golden vessels from the house of God. That was like the house of God, not like one of their gods.
Did Nebuchadnezzar do it too?
And they drank out of them. No, this was Belshazzar
Okay.
who did this.
Suffered from a similar problem, though. The first question on this, usually the questions are like pretty much like to the lines, but this one's kind of like, this one's actually like synopsisized. Because then 2 is like, yeah, describe the great banquet. That's when he took all the stuff.
Yeah. Remember, this is also like 31 verses, so there's probably going to be some condensing with the questions to so there's you can cover more and not make the questionnaire super long.
So in the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem, they took all that and they used that. And it does say desecration. Why was this considered a further desecration? Well, because they're putting the earthly things above the kingdom of heaven.
They were drinking out of them for the sake of their own gods, of his lords. 1,000 of his lords, and drank wine before the 1,000. Lords, as in like other leaders, I guess.
Right. So they're praising the gods of gold, silver, brass, iron, wood, and stone, which are also the elements of that statue.
That's interesting.
That's why I bought this. I literally bought this book because of that statue. I saw that and I'm just like, that's the thing described in this very specific chapter of Daniel that we were reading at the time. And I could not pass that up. So this is Solomon's temple, and Jesus in the temple. Ooh, the actual temple. Okay. Yeah, the
They
statue
drank
of
the
Daniel.
wine. They drank the wine and then praised the gods of gold, silver, brass, iron, and wood and stone.
Yep, that's the stuff. That's the stuff the statue's made out of. That's crazy. Because this is the way that this timeline is laid out as well. It goes into later parts of Daniel that we haven't got to yet, which is great because it puts a nice roadmap there. Roadmaps within roadmaps. So
In the
then,
same hour, I'm just reading it out loud. Verse 5, just the came forth fingers of a man's hand and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaister of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw part of the hand that wrote. I don't get that part. and then he
So
died.
an actual hand appeared. An actual hand appeared, and he saw that, and that's why he called all of his OGs to the floor. So what appeared to right on the wall of the rope house? What did he? It was his initial reaction to this frightening sight. So it's insinuating he's frightened already. So yeah, his reaction. Well, it says his countenance was changed. Well, yeah, I mean he was celebrating. He was fine. He was cheering. He was happy, and then he became troubled. On
He
whom did?
wasn't just troubled; his entire countenance was changed, and his knees started bumping together.
So he was really troubled. So he cried aloud immediately to get all the same guys that interpreted his dad's dream, brought the gang together. That was his initial reaction. I guess shaking knees would be the initial reaction. But he called upon astrologers, Chaldeans, soothsayers.
Yep.
I didn't know that he was the king of the Chaldeans. Is Chaldea a place?
I can Google it.
I'm gonna earth it. No.
Chaldea refers to a region probably located in the marshy land of southern Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia. Iraq-ish. Okay, yeah, that does hold up. That does check out. The marshy land, Babylon. Yep. Okay.
Neat.
Okay. Yeah, because every time I saw Chaldeans, I'm just like, is it just like a Bible term that I just don't know of? Yes, that's the answer. Yeah.
Hmm.
So on whom did he call immediately? Them. How were they able to explain it?
Jeez. So this was his. Wow. Okay.
Were they able to explain it? Or did they have to call Daniel again?
Oh, you know they called Daniel.
I know they called him. What doest thou? I'm just picturing just like really straight out of Compton font on a shirt, just what doest thou?
Hey,
That's great. I'm glad that translates thousands of years. Come at me, bro. What doest thou? How were they able to explain things? I don't see that they were able to. Because it says that they could not read the writing nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. So they weren't able to explain things to the king.
the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house and said, "Let not thy thoughts trouble thee, nor let countenance be changed."
But his countenance was
Cool.
changed several times.
All right. But she's like, "Don't do that.
Quit doing that.
Stop it."
Quit flip flopping.
Yeah.
Sounded like a busy.
Stop making your knees rattle.
So that's who came to the assistance with a suggestion.
Right.
There is a man in thy kingdom who is spirit of the Holy God. Okay, so she tells him that Daniel's a thing.
Right.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because he's kind of high, sniffing his own farts a little bit. Like he kind of forgets that he even needs Daniel. He's living in opposition to the way.
They say it's an excellent spirit, knowledge and understanding, interpreting of dreams, and shewing of hard sentences and dissolving of doubts were found in the same Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called and shew the interpretation. Yep.
Cool. Whom did? Yep. Cool. Explain. Explain. Had prior exposure to the bed. The same thing, pretty much. Yeah. Same thing.
Let's see him.
So what did he offer him?
What
So like
question are
he
you on?
doesn't know nothing about Daniel. So this is like 12 to 13 ish. So what did the
What
king
question?
offer Daniel if he could identify? Oh wait, hold on. And
Oh,
the
the
king
writing on the
brought in.
wall.
Art thou that Daniel, which art the children of the captivity of Judah, who the king my father brought out of Jewry? The very same. I have even heard of thee. Like 5 seconds ago, you had heard of him. So what did? Okay, so there's. He had this person with prior exposure. Dude doesn't even realize his name's that similar? Really? Props to the queen. Props to the queen then.
She probably wasn't afflicted the way the king was. If he wasn't even capable of deducing that, she's probably impacted.
And now the wise men and the astrologers have been brought before me. They should read this writing and make known to me the interpretation thereof, but they could not show me the interpretation. And then he says he's going to give them all this stuff. So, clothed with scarlet, chain of gold. Hold on, clothed with scarlet. That's an interesting. Yeah, my other Bible's downstairs. It's a good thing I could just switch real quick. Daniel 5 NIV. I want to say that's cloaks of purple in the NIV, which does make a difference because scarlet and purple don't mean the same thing in terms of rarity. So I'm interested as to why they might have done that. Purple. Yep, here we go. The king summoned the enchanters, astrologers, and diviners. Says nothing about the Chaldeans. Then said to these wise men of Babylon, whoever reads this writing and tells me what it means shall be clothed in purple and have a gold chain placed around his neck and will be made the third highest ruler in the kingdom. And then you have here, clothed with scarlet. Interesting.
I mean, scarlet does look purple in different tones, like with different. I mean, scarlet's really, really deep, like red.
Am I just showing
Like,
my man card here a little bit? I don't really know.
no. It's not that at all.
That's not
It's
purple.
there's
I'm not looking for the Scarlet Witch. Let's just do that. Scarlet versus Purple Bible. Not the color of the actual Bible.
oh,
Purple. Scarlet. So, I'm not going to take this Bible Hub, anything that shares website name with the website, then I got to take with a grain of salt, but I would rather, or I would see it more like a power thing, more like wrath, I guess. I don't know if I would do sin. Like I wouldn't really see sin in Scarlet. Or wealth, I mean. I would see sin. But purple, okay, so the Bible, purple and scarlet serve as powerful symbols of both divine majesty. For the sake of conversation, it's probably not that important to get into the weeds of it, but noticeable difference. This is why we do this, by the way, for everybody out there, and this is why I wanted to do it, is because it pisses me off when someone gets all mad butthurt about something in the Bible, they'll be telling you, like I got a coworker who's really into it, and he'll start getting into something like really deep, and he's Indian, so it's what the reason? What the reason for this? Well, sometimes he says what the reason to something about scarlet when I'm reading something about purple. So that gets mixed up, and then it can be frustrating to people that don't have a grounding in the Bible, like anyone else. Someone that doesn't have a grounding in it might get caught really deep in that and say like, well, what's even the point? I understand your frustration. That's why I sit here before you. That's why Sauce is here. That's why we have these worksheets out. And that's why we're cracking into it. Because if the instructions say, use a Phillips, but all you got are flathead screws, you're going to start saying like, well, what the hell? Why is that different? Keep reading. That's the shut up and eat the cracker sort of thing.
Well, I mean, there's making a mountain out of an anthill, but then there's also making an anthill out of a mountain. So it's good to notice these changes as we look at different versions, different.
It's something as simple as it's thrown me off in the past, and I just knowing that that's a pitfall that if I can fall into it, I'm not the only person that can. Because if it's slightly different, it's frustrating. Like again, like why? Don't make the mountain out of the molehill. You can.
Yeah, that.
Because I'm sure there's someone that's dedicated 8 years of a doctoral thesis to exactly why that word is different between different translations. I'm sure. But he did offer him either scarlet or purple robes. Chain of gold. The dude likes gold, and he'll be the third ruler in the kingdom. I like that the statue was explained to the first king in the kingdom. Or maybe it wasn't, because I don't know anything before Nebuchadnezzar.
In the Bible, scarlet and purple both appear in descriptions of royal or luxurious clothing, but different translations sometimes choose one color over the other because of how ancient words are interpreted. Two different Hebrew and Greek words can overlap in meaning. Ancient terms for dyes didn't always mean our modern color categories. Scarlet usually translates Hebrew shanai or tola to a bright red or orange, red-orange dye from insects. Purple usually uh, translate Hebrew argamon or Greek uh, porphyra, a deep red purple dye made from Mediterranean sea snails. Ooh.
Huh.
But in ancient times, purple included a whole range from deep red to violet. So some translators chose purple, others chose scarlet, depending on how they understood the shade. Both dyes were extremely expensive, and they were both affiliated with royalty.
Cool.
And to link, they are linked to wealth and power, and they're difficult to produce. So the concept of the color means more than the literal definition. So they could be saying platinum chains. They could be saying, they could be saying all kinds of stuff. Well, I think gold's important personally, but
Gold might be
when
one of
it
those
comes
ones
to,
that they couldn't actually change.
well, gold was gold. I don't think there
Yeah.
was a whole lot of, but like with this was like a man-made color that was mashed up sea snails and other stuff. Like those things are
Definitely sea snails eat different stuff, therefore sea snails could probably be different colors mashed up.
sure.
You know, mashed potatoes are a
Yeah,
little bit different color everywhere, you know? Sometimes you get the little yellow ones.
mashed taters.
That's fine. That's a fine distinction.
Yeah,
Don't get
I
caught in
could
the
do with
weeds when you can just explain it by mashing up snails.
that. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
blue's a really rare color, but you know those sea snails ain't gonna
Why
smash
not?
themselves.
Yeah. If they could, man, we'd make a fortune.
Self-smashing
So,
snails.
self-smashing sea snails. Yeah, that
Shells,
one's probably
self-smashing seashells
on the seashore.
on the seashore. What a shame.
Uh,
Okay, so what did he offer to him? How did Daniel set the stage and address the king? I wanted to,
at this
that's why I
point,
was going into Babylon here, because I wanted to go
yeah,
and see like what it looked like to actually set this stage. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to set the actual stage. Boom.
and part of me thinks that Daniel's already just kind of like, ah, boy, here we go again.
It's like I done been had told you about it. Your dad didn't
You
tell
and
you
your dad,
this.
you and your dad. The apple doesn't far
Apple
too far
doesn't
from the
fall
tree. Now
far. Yeah,
goes.
no kidding. Holy cow. How did he set the stage? Like what exact?
Well, he didn't
He
even
said don't
care. He
even
was not
bother.
interested. He wasn't even interested in the riches or anything. He's like, bro, just listen to what I have to say. I don't care about all the other crap. Let me just tell you what's going on. That's it.
And then he goes into saying, for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him. Whom he would slew. And whom he would keep alive, he did. And whom he
Yep.
would set up, he would put down. Is that what he's saying when it says stage to address the king?
He's like, King, you can do all of this stuff. Look at all the stuff that you have control over.
So, how did Daniel describe Nebuchadnezzar in light of his hardened heart of pride? Okay, so there's, but when his heart was lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, but when his heart was lifted up, isn't that a good thing though?
No,
Heart being lifted up. Why?
his own heart. That's a pride thing.
Okay.
He's going back to that egocentric.
And his mind hardened in pride. I mean, it says it in the next one, but still, yeah, I always thought, like, you want to chin up, you know? He was deposed from his kingly throne, and it took his glory from him. So I'm guessing that's how he set the stage, and how he described the light of hardened, light of his hardened heart. It says his mind was hardened, not his heart, but again, weeds. What God did to him as punishment. Yeah, he sent him back. He sent him back to the heifer land. He had to go eat. He had to go eat like the animals. Where was the temple hall?
That's
I'm
right.
gonna go in the throne hall, because this is where this would have actually been. There we go. Yeah, much better. So this is where like this is taking place according to that. Cool. Dogs pitter pattering around. This was the question that I was getting. I thought this was in the last one. Why do you think Daniel spent so much time recounting the details of the king's predecessor? I thought that was setting the stage, but that is kind of setting the stage too. Being driven from the sons of men. Yeah, man, he really yeah, this is like the new part of the episode. This is like the new content. Daniel's giving his monologue now, like, I can't believe I'm doing this again. It's like your dad was like a really good king. Like he was an important guy. And he had it all when his head was on. Then he let his head fall. Like, did he not tell you about that? I'm kind of surprised it doesn't point to Daniel like kind of looking down at his watch, being like, "We doing this again?" But no, he spends a lot of time just telling him like. I love that the way he phrases it about whom he would slew, he slew, and whom he would keep alive, he kept alive. What could, like the question? I'm trying not to just blitz through the questions, but it's. He recounted the details of the predecessor because he wanted him to. He's not even telling him what the hand meant. He's basically saying like, "Oh shit, you saw the hand? All right, so when a man loves a woman,
Yeah.
like let's go back to stage one. Oh shit, you saw the hand. Okay, so that means you got some conflict in there.
According to them knees right there, looks like you saw the hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna reckon you saw the hand. You got the Chaldeans, the soothsayers, and astrologers out again. And Almanac says last time you did that,
Oh,
yeah, we have this roadmap. I love that. That's great. So Daniel's like, yeah,
go.
you saw the hand, but before we even get there, we gotta. I want you to
I
tell me if any of
got.
this sounds familiar.
I got. Just, this is like his way of like wagging a finger at him. It's like all you had to do
Why do you think he
was
spent so much
recognize the
time?
King of Kings.
Your dad, like, yeah, again, like your dad didn't tell you this.
How did your dad not tell you any of
He
this?
named you after. Like I steered him clear of this. Like I passed along that note, that message, and he kind of named you after me. And now you drinking out of the gold from the temple. You must have saw the hand. Wow. I like that. I like that it doesn't even touch upon the hand until the end. That's nice.
I can't stop thinking about Mage Hand. Can
Mage
that be
hand,
like?
the Majora's Mask toilet hand.
No, I'm talking about Mage Hand from like Baldur's Gate.
No,
Like
I
they
know,
have.
but there's actually like a trope in fiction like this. It is biblical, like having
Mhm.
like a severed hand, like teaching you like that's kind of like dragons, like how every culture like kind of knows what dragons are. That's
Isn't that
like,
wild?
yeah, I had no idea that was biblical. That's insane. I'm just looking at these nice little star 4 points right there. That's pretty cool. That's insane. Bro got mage handed. That's an appropriate response. Call the soothsayers up. I'm freaking out. Got mage handed. I get it.
And this king, honestly, is deliberately like not deliberate, like prob maybe deliberately, but like he's just much weaker than his predecessor.
Like he didn't
Uh,
fight with this at all. He just sort of immediately like
he
he
was
did.
so ready to give away, like his instead of telling him, like what a weak king
I'm
this
pretty
this
sure
king
that.
was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Hang
that
on,
his the loins being loosed, isn't that him loose pissing himself?
continents. Yeah, he was pissing and
Did he
shitting
actually
himself.
piss himself?
Well, I mean, when it says,
His loins were loosed. Yeah, he loosed his bowels.
yeah,
So the dude shit
and
himself.
his knees were colliding with one another. Like
Oh my
he just
god,
could not handle him. He could not handle the pressure. Unlike
actually
the
pissed
previous
himself.
king, which was like, if you don't tell me this, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna send your house. I'm gonna turn your entire house into a rubbling pile of crap. Like your family is dead, you're dead, your dog's dead, your cat's dead, all that, all that.
This dude
That's what
just
he
didn't
did.
want his after party ruined, and he immediately, yeah, he wasn't gonna do the whole. He didn't do the whole kill everybody.
This guy had no fire in his belly compared to his father.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that means he
And
joins.
this kind of makes to like ah, it must have been some
Proves the
weak.
statue a little bit.
Yeah, were they already at the feet though, like the feet of clay or whatever it was?
No, because I think it keeps referencing Daniel 7. So
Huh.
I think it's we're getting close. But again, the gold head is the golden ideal or whatever. Like that's the base of it is the foundation in God or something, because that's why it chips to pieces, but it's still like the feet or something. But the head is like the clear, the clarity. It's like the better idea, the purer kingdom than the silver. So it's like, to the not accurate degree that I'm explaining it, but it is sort of unfolding that way. At first, you have a guy who's like, I'm not scared at all. I'll kill them all to fucking prove it. This guy's like, I'm wet. Daniel, can someone
No, I
help me?
changed my diaper.
His dad's just like, oh, there's an ox for Christmas. 7 years in a row. And he's like, my dad didn't even talk to me. I pissed myself. Someone called the
Real,
Chaldeans.
real though.
And
My
then the
dad
Chaldeans
didn't
killed
even
him because
talk
he
to
was a
me.
whiny little bitch.
Yeah, that
But
was
we're
it.
going to
He's like,
actually get
oh, just gonna give up the seat. Hey, if you answer this, I'll give you the seat to
I
the
will make you
kingdom.
the king.
Lazy. Yeah.
Wow. So review to God. Yeah, we already know what he punished him with. Details of predecessor. What could King Belshazzar? That was another question I had. Bal Belteshazzar. Okay, so there's a
Politicians on.
T-E. The only two letters different. What could he have learned from the judgment and punishment? No, like he could have learned literally anything.
Anything at all.
Literally could have learned a thing, and it would have been different. Maybe I'm not a learned scholar, but that's how I see that. Well, righty then.
But I am quick to soil my britches.
Dude shit himself. Damn. I mean, you see a mage hand at a party, you're a little lit. You might soil your loosens the linen, loose your soils, loose your
You
joints.
know, linen your soils.
Don't linen your
Yeah.
soils at your party. You're gonna look like an asshole in front of the Chaldeans. You better make someone else king, because you're gonna look like a prick real soon. Oh, maybe he did it that way. Maybe that's why he did it too. He's just like, if you can tell me what I meant, you deserve this. You earned it. Is that based, actually?
Meanie, tackle you farson.
Yeah, I mean, the dude got killed, so not based.
Yeah. Goth has numbered God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balance, and so there's debt. Debt needs to
Found
be paid.
wanting. I like it in NIV. It breaks it down differently. You've been weighed on the scales. The balances, I guess.
Yep.
Same thing. But mene means something. God has numbered your days of your reign and brought it to an end. God has numbered thy kingdom and finished it. So
Why
KJV's
is it twice though? Mene.
for his son, I bet. Or for the next one, I bet.
Mene.
I bet he has numbered thy
Maybe.
kingdom into finished, like, into his grandson, I bet. Like, his grandson's even gonna, like, because his dad learned this lesson and he is not, now God is saying, I'm not even gonna, like, I'm just gonna make it so your kid fails immediately, because he's not gonna learn the lesson if you don't. Is that what he's saying by doing that?
Mene. Why was Mene written twice?
Does your dad even ask that?
No. He might. I didn't read the past to that, but repetition equals absolute certainty in Hebrew Aramaic expression.
Okay.
Holy, holy, holy. Isaiah 6:3, ultimate holiness.
Okay.
Truly, truly, Jesus sayings, unquestionable truth. So mene mene means your kingdom days are not just numbered, they are completely, absolutely, irreversibly finished. Wow.
That makes
So
sense.
so those valley girls that were talking to each other way back when they say they really they like you, or do you just or do
Do
they
you
just
just
like
like
you?
her? They like
They were actually based on something. So
That's
like
really funny.
that's neat.
Mage hand and like are biblical.
That's crazy. That's so funny, but like it's true. That's neat. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, how many times, like, again, first time we did this, it was like, oh, Goku's just got to, like, diet Jesus. Now it's just like, well, do you like God? Many, 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 many.
Okay, dude. It stresses that the judgment is already decided and cannot be changed.
Okay, so,
Belshazzar's time is up. The doubling tells him God didn't speak once, he confirmed it in the sentence twice. There will be no delay, no second chance. This fits the chapter. The judgment comes that same night on verse 30.
yes, and I love that is that swift. So,
Well,
we got number 8 out the way. How was the
you
ones?
notice that, like, I know I'm harping on the personality differences between the two kings, but like at least the first king had like enough fire in his gut to make multiple mistakes and like live through it and celebrate the revelations. With this guy, he's just weak. He pooped himself.
The dude pooped himself and then said, if I apologize, will you not cancel me? Like, dude, you shit yourself already. You're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoever's next also deserves to fail. So we're not going to
Mene,
have a
mene.
next. Dude got canceled.
Yeah. Mene, mene.
Many, many. I'm glad you pointed that out because, again, something as simple as just him shitting himself. Uh, you kind of got to read those words a few times. And even if I'm wrong, it paints a better picture of the personality difference.
How was Belshazzar judged, and what was his punishment?
So the judgment was the things, the interpretation of the things.
And his punishment was the his reign was to end.
Yeah, his kingdom will be divided. So how was the once powerful kingdom divided? It was divided the Persians and the Medians, the Medes.
Oh, that's when the Spartans come out. No, never mind.
This is the Saiyan invasion.
I was thinking of the movie 300, where the Persians try and go after the Spartans.
Yeah, no, Persia's an interesting empire. If
Yeah,
you know, what's the word? Providing the evidence about it's not all bullshit. But it's a really neat chunk
Persians
of time.
really focused on like the opulence, the. I remember like opulence being very like
It is.
appropriately used for Persian.
It's a beautiful word that describes pretty much exactly what their um
Exuberant, unnecessary,
yeah.
unnecessarily exuberant.
And then it became Iran.
Did it really?
Yeah, Persia's Iran.
No way. Hang on. I thought it was
Yes.
I thought it was like Saudi.
No. Persia's Iran. So it's like the most opulent
Is
empire
that what
that
you're
you.
looking at right now?
Yeah, just right here. Boom,
Oh,
Persia.
that's cool.
Kinda, but like, what happened? I'd rather the Persians. Fuck. I can't wait to read about why they don't deserve to exist from biblical perspective.
Uh, I blame Meowth and trying to learn the English language.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
blame Game Freak.
yeah,
Look, even Game Freak has an analog. Okay, he's talked about in Genesis.
true. That's neat.
There's two powerful enemies. So Persians already existed at this time. The thing about Iran is Iran's so far away.
I almost said that. Wow.
I had to take it out of your mouth because I felt there was like a bubble. It was like watching a bubble in wax. Like, oh shit, it's gonna come to the top. It's not gonna pop violently. It's gonna be there, deflated. Yeah. So here is. So if you look on my stream,
Yeah.
this chunk here. So you got ancient Babylon. Here's Iraq. This
Yeah.
is that like marshy area that we're talking about. This is Persia.
Yeah.
This is Persia. So Iran and then Iraq. Iran is like a lot of underground cities and crazy shit. Like you would definitely imagine like an empire. Iraq is just kind of sand. It's just sand. Basically it. I love that the Persian Empire expands so oddly. It's like it's Greek but brown skinned too. It's neat. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So the two powerful enemies. So Babylonia was divided at that time. So that's what this is saying. The kingdom of Babylon has fallen here. Or is just given domain. Because the Chaldeans were his people. They weren't Babylonians. Did Babylonians exist yet?
They came and went, I thought.
All right, Jeepers Creepers, folks.
That was before.
Daniel taken to Babylon. Okay, so that's Babylon. Okay, so Nineveh, the capital of Assyria, falls to the Babylonians in 612. And then Daniel was brought to Babylon in 605 BC. So 612 and then 605 BC. The Babylonians and the Medes. Then it actually... Okay. So Belshazzar, it says, would be in charge of Babylon at about 550 BC, when Nebuchadnezzar would have been like 600 BC. So that's like 50-year chunk. And then it has some information. Judah, the southern kingdom, falls to Babylon. The temple of Jerusalem is destroyed in 586. So that might explain why they had the cups in the ceremony. The temple of Jerusalem was destroyed before that. Then Gedaliah appointed the governor over the Babylonian provinces of Judah, and then the same year of that. And then you have Amel Marduk happened in between that. Cyrus comes into power in Persia in 559. It's good to know. It's good to know because at some point when I was reading about Daniel, it said that he lived in to see Cyrus as king. So that now that I know that the Persians, along with the Medians, took over, that makes sense that we would see Cyrus come into power now. Dope. That is dope. It actually does say Persia is Saudi Arabia in the Bible. Oh no, they were Iraq. They were Iraq. Then Medea kind of pushed them south into Saudi Arabia. So Persia was more on that peninsula. Oh, sorry, loud ass noise. Here. Boom, bap. Yep, this is where Persians were, and then the Medians pushed them down into here. So that might be why you thought it was more like opulent, and why it ended up with in the UAE, which is like exactly what a modern day Persia would be.
Cool.
Yeah, Persia is just on a peninsula. It's just not an empire anymore. That's basically all it is. This is getting really interesting because I know the word Persian. I know
You know
that
the
word.
Tower of Babel, right?
That's why I keep zooming into that area because I keep wanting to find what could be. I'm of a
You're not gonna find it, brother.
I'm of a dualistic mind. I do think that I think that there might have been pillars of. I think there might have been
Oh,
pillars.
there's some really interesting speculation about
I think it might have been
how
in California. I think a
the
lot of
entire
this might have
kingdom.
been just interpreted or changed or something too. You know, like there's mappings. You know, that could work.
There are mappings, but you also have to understand that there was things that were explained in the Bible that that do fall into place, but they're so loosely like they're kind of like it's like a nuance. There's they don't tell you how, but they tell you the why. And the how is what perplexes a lot of people. Like the whole concept of an entire desert just sort of being there. Why is it there? How did it get there? What was it before? Like the buildings and the tower itself could have been completely just doomed to dust, essentially. Like that's the kind of like power that we're talking about here, where it was down like
Yeah,
what once was a city turned into a desert because it was just particleized.
I think
You
it can
know?
only be like. I think it could probably only be like one of two places because of that, and one of which being like exactly where it would be. Yeah,
Hmm.
or exactly where like
That's
you
so
would imagine
cool.
Babylon would be.
That's
Um,
so crazy.
yeah, I mean, if it was as big as you could think that it could be, let's see how. What do they say
Do you know
about
what
you could
happens?
put people on top? If you put humanity on a square mile in Texas, just on top of each other twice, you could fit every person. So like, it wouldn't have been that big of a tower, but like, imagine it was. It would have been pounded dust. Well, look where there's dust. There's a big desert here, right? What if the
Yeah.
tower wasn't that big? I want to point this out. I want to point out this peninsula right here and how it juts over there or whatever. It's a good thing we were looking at really good maps just, not too long ago. Because what if this peninsula here, like what if this outlet here that we're seeing, what if that's actually mirrored in something we see in California, where we see this little peninsula thing sticking here? Not saying that it is where it is, but it's like this is where the UAE would be, or this is where that little tip of the UAE would have been if all of this. Some people say California used to be underwater. California used to be separated by a river.
A lot of land was underwater at one point.
Yep, and it would have went right down this. I don't know, but there's something about this funnel area that looks like it got straight Gallic gunned, final flashed, smoted, whatever you want to say. Looks like it just got punished into a desert. I don't think the Tower of Babel was here, but I do think like if there was something that was similar in the Americas, here would have been where it was. It was.
As much as that's a bit of a stretch, I do think that I mean anything at this point like is worth talking about and coming to our own answer conclusion too. Um,
It's such a straight geological. It's just a very interesting geological spot. And then nobody knows about the desert in America, and everybody wants to say it was a bunch of loincloth wearing motherfuckers. I just don't believe that 100%. This is
well,
why I love the Bible, because it doesn't really
where's
go
Egypt?
into.
Hang on, I need to look at a map too.
Okay. Egypt is going to be this chunk where you have cradle of life, which looks like an umbilical cord or an umbilicus, which I think
What's
is
that?
awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
Interesting. I keep hearing this stuff about copper tools being found inside the Grand Canyon, and that just blowing my mind. And
There
I'm
shouldn't be.
thinking there shouldn't, but there is.
Right. And that's all I have to say about history. And I think history is one of those things where you can play fast and loose. Where, like I'm talking about with the Bible, scarlet, purple, those two things, the distinction is a little bit more, I'm not going to say unimportant, but if you get lost in that a little bit, you can always come back and say, it's the word of God. History has fucking stockholders and shareholders. I don't give a fuck about the truth of history. It is not sacred to me. So, yeah, when it comes to like saying, copper tools in the Grand Canyon, oh, well, that's clearly dinosaurs. Just please, like I really would like an explanation for that. I would love to hear why they're there. I would love to know why there's a photo of San Francisco in the 1850s without a single person in it, but the whole city is built. I'd love to know that. I'm so glad none of this is in the Bible because, again, I feel so justified in just ripping it to shreds because it's so ludicrous. It's so much easier to believe a guy came out of the furnace unharmed because he walked in, the way of God than it is to believe there's copper tools in the Grand Canyon. Period. Like, I believe the COVID vaccine is effective over that.
You're funny.
So you notice how I said, I believe.
Oh, I believe.
The Grand Canyon's stupid. It's a stupid thing. America it can't exist the way it existed. You can't tell me we just built one of the most opulent countries to let it fall into what would become Detroit and San Francisco within like 100 years.
Of course you can.
I just find it bullshit.
Let's look back at Daniel. What happened within just the 2 parts of Daniel? The king had a kid, and that kid was willing to give up the throne just like that. Like, I mean, that can happen at a blink of an eye. You know what happened with the Tower of Babylon, right?
Yeah, I do.
How it fell, and how as soon as it
Yeah.
fell, everyone started speaking different languages, and no one could understand each other.
I thought that was why it fell, was because everybody gave in to their whimsy or whatever, and then God punished them.
Oh, you're probably right. I'm a little rusty at that.
Because it was like that's why people say like we live in a Tower of Babel situation right now because it hasn't fallen yet entirely, but everyone's kind of speaking different languages, like fucking pronouns, stupid shit. Why
Well,
is
it's
there
not
a
just
picture?
Yeah, this is dialect as well.
Look here, there's a horse and carriage without a person driving it in this photograph.
I remember studying this image.
There is not a single person. There is not a single person in this whole photograph.
It's because it's long exposure.
But then you would see trails. You would see
No, you
blur
wouldn't.
people trails
Not entirely.
in the
When
daylight.
you see all the smudges, you see all the smudges and stuff though. Like,
You want to tell me you can see individual shingles in the shade, but you can't see a blur from a photo exposure on a person? But why is there
yeah,
no person in here?
shingles don't move.
Why is the horse in one spot? If people are
Horses,
moving, why is one carriage caught in still?
maybe that's just where it was parked.
For how long of an exposure would that have to be to get the entire San Francisco Bay?
Well,
Because this is
if you
there's a
want,
bigger picture than this.
there is multiple images here.
Here we go. There's the real one.
See the crease? See the creases? It's actually It looks like that could be divided into 3 to 6 shots. Oh wow, yeah, that's going to be a lot of shots. Probably taken over the course of a few days.
There is
Or
actually, if my camera's in the, or if my person is in the way, let me move that real quick. Underneath here, right there, you can see a shadow horse, and it kind of looks like it's invisible. So like, there's one example of like that horse might have been a long exposure or whatever. Okay. Why are the shadows in one place? Um, why are there no people?
the shadows look, if you look, the shadows aren't consistent throughout
From image to image, I
the
know,
image.
but like within the actual image itself. And again, this is one of the coolest things about this picture is this dilapidated mound sort of in the middle, because you guys rushed really quick to get everybody off the streets for a picture or the exposure or whatever. But you guys couldn't have waited until like the front yard was done to take this monolithic first time ever panorama. Look how white everything was too, unless it isn't. See, that's the thing. Like everything's so dirty in this chunk,
It's it's
except over right next to
everything
it.
everything looks white because that's how much exposure was required in order for the image to be burned onto the film.
If even if that's true, even if that's true,
There's no birds in the sky. There are no clouds, and that's the reason why.
clouds are an
Because
old
we
one. Clouds are a bugaboo with me. I don't believe that there's actually. I believe there's actually shit in the sky. I just think that they fucking Freemason that shit out.
okay.
Because it wouldn't make sense for us to see like the Hindenburg for the first time and be like, oh, that's impressive. Well, why? There's shit in the sky. There's a lot of boats at sea. Why are the boats still there? Isn't the exposure going to affect the boats? Look at how
Again,
in depth this little like, uh, what's that saint symbol called? It's just that's tech right there with the top taken off. That's crazy. What a massive church. And again, the population of this town at the time, which everything about exposure is fine, it's only like 1,000 people.
it looks to be a lightning rod, I would assume.
That is what they call them typically when you see them in pictures. They'll say it's like, oh, it's for lightning rods. But that's awesome. If the lightning would hit one of the 1,000 people in this massive area. But again, this is for like 1,500 people. So who built it? They built all of this for themselves. So you say, oh, you could say like the California gold rush. Dog, gold don't just turn into buildings. You don't just say gold there, now building there. Look at this. This is a massive church. You have to get all that material out there, and this is all brand new. This is more ornate, more beautiful than Chicago,
Look at
any
the
of those older
doors.
towns.
Could you go back? Go back. Go back.
It's got wharfs. It's got these old like these old Roman style buildings in the background. It's not
That's
steam
cool.
engine days yet. Is this before light bulbs because you have street lamps? It's like I know they say they're gas lamps, but look how fucking big this city is. You mean to tell me they're lighting all these all 1,000 of them? What does every person in this town have to light a candle in the middle of the street so they for them? That's a tough order. That's a hard sell for me, dog.
I mean, people have jobs, and those jobs were different than they are nowadays. So,
All I'm saying is just this is a lot of industry and a lot of buildings for like what would be at the time 1,500 people.
well, if you throw
How
that into
many people did
Photoshop
it take to build?
and allocate one person per building, let's see how many 1,500 would fill up.
And if you're gonna do the average, whatchamacallit, acreage or square footage of San Francisco per building.
And where did you get the number 1,500? Is that what the population was
I'm gonna get
estimated to
there.
be?
I'm actually gonna get that more whittled down and accurate for you. San Francisco population 18. This is like 1850 or 1860, that panorama. What's
You
the
could reverse
number?
Google image search as well.
So I think the 1500 number might be the pre-explosion number because it's like a quarter of 10,000. What does it say? 30,000. Oh, I'm way off. What was the population of the country at the time? I bet you if you look deep enough, all the numbers will make sense. I bet they'll all make sense, like according to modern statistics. I bet they all do. Oh, this is like a San Francisco library book. Oh, goodness. I'm not going to go scour that whole thing. Actually, it's a little older, so it might be a little bit more. Might be a little truer. Age groups, economic pattern, comparison of the data. Age groups, industry, comparison of the 30s and 40s, manufacturers. It's saying 30 million. Am I reading that number that wrong? United States, 31 million. California, 300,000. 9 Bay counties. But what if it was 1,500, man?
If it was, then I'd be right.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I would say if I thought I would have been right. But even then, doubling it within 10 years, it's a really good thing they built it just in time. Then you start getting into orphan trains, and then you start getting into like Tartaria and shit, which is exactly where I love to be. I love to talk about that. But again, I just don't think that they needed this massive like 8-story ornate build. Like this is a gold rush. I get that get you need places to live, but why do they have to look the most incredible? It's like, oh, the West was set up the most recently, so they learned the most. Dudes straight out of Europe couldn't build motherfucking star forts right away when they got here,
I thought they did.
but they fucking did. But those were the only things that were beautiful and ornate on the East Coast, except for the rare random population towns. You get your booms like in Brooklyn, New York, where they had the World Fair. One of them. I think it's up here. No, it wouldn't be. It's not Clancy. I think it's Battery Weed. Because then you just got this massive Roman arc structure somewhere on the other end of it. I don't know, man. It's just a lot of material. A lot of material. And if this is, let's just say this is the end product, how fucking long did that take?
Rome wasn't built in a day. Probably looked like that dilapidated dirt mound for a while.
I love this one book I have about the San Francisco Exposition as well. because in the span of like 50 years from like the times of these buildings up until nothing changed. It just got dirtier. So it's like they got here, they built it really well, and then they said, nope, no more. And I hate that. I hate that that's everywhere. And that's the only explanation, too. It's just like, well, you know, people had to be cobblers instead. Who the fuck built this fucking estate?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And these things lasted long periods of time. And because things lasted so long, information on how to
But you
build
can
those
even
types of things was lost.
But you can even see the difference of the houses just like these two next to each other. Like this one is where the wood fence is. This one is where the terrace and the brick wall are. You have your arches with your set, not facade, with your cast. You, fucking those V pieces that go at the top of arches. But then you have square windows, right? So like the building structure isn't even consistent because you have square windows and you have arched windows. But the parts that look like shanty towns, is my camera blocking? It's blocking this really good point I'm about to make. It proves me right, damn it.
Well,
Look at this shit. So right here, there's a really dirty wooden building for this brand new area. That's really dirty. It's a really dirty siding for a brand new area because everything else is spick and span. Even the roads where the horses are walking, it's really, really nice. Well done. Well made.
you think that those places are just blurred and smeared from all the traffic?
No, I mean they don't look blurred and smeared at all. Actually, like this boardwalk over here looks wood, and it actually kind of shows a little bit better over here. Where this is wood right here. I mean that's a
Wood or
gangplank.
cobblestone?
No, I think that's wood. This is it's like a trolley. Okay, yeah, actually, that's a really good point. So San Francisco has a fucking trolley, and this road has it built for it. That's interesting. So they were building trolleys. That's not unheard of. Trolleys existed. But damn, they really they planned San Francisco for a lot of people. A lot of people they was gonna move in. I think down here is where it looks like wood as well. Yeah, like see this like V right here, this perfect sidewalk crease. I don't think that's cobblestone. That looks like wood setting. It looks like the planks go all the way down that way. It's like the timbers are laying. And then even on this picture here, you can kind of see the way the timbers are. Which is really cool because it's like a street and sidewalk made of wood looking. Like this looks more like a walkway at a theme park than it does for an actual city. And then again, how many churches you need for 30,000 people? Good question. I'd like to know. Because there's one over there, there's one right there. That one's massive, actually. That's a giant dome shape. That's a massive dome. This looks like it's a church. That looks like it's a church. It's a lot of non-denominational motherfuckers just not walking around. There's that one there. This one here. Like, can you at least concede that maybe they didn't need this many huge churches right next to each other? Like, this is supposed to be a gold rush town. Keep in mind, like, this is for guys with greasy shit and coal in their beards and shovels on their shoulders. Think of the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Like, these are just people that are just, oh, hi, oh. And they did that? It's sort of like the America needs immigrants because we're too stupid and too talented and no one wants jobs at the same time rhetoric. It's like either they were bumbling doofuses that could only mine gold or they were masters in their craft. But you can't, like, they didn't live longer than like 30, 40, 50 years, but they're mining gold and building cities. Can we at least concede that that's a really big fucking church right next to a really big fucking church? That seems crazy to me. And
Churches
that's
and religion were what brought communities together. And if people were sick enough of each other, they would make another church of some kind or some kind of. I mean, this is also the time where Methodism or Methodists was like not new, but still fairly like a Protestant denomination. And there's a few at that point. So it could be just a different denomination. One could be a Catholic church while the other one is Methodist. Like there wasn't just one religion back then where if you know what I mean. Like, you picking up what I'm putting down.
yeah. It's just this is the kind of shit that I'm. This is the kind of stuff more that I'm talking about here, right? So here's the gold rush. So I'm not just making up
Mhm.
that 1,500 number. You went from a population in 1 year from 1 to 25,000, and that's fine. I'm aware of the Comstock lode and the silver discovery and the silver mining and whatever. Um, get back. I want to find this one population figure from this book. So it says by 1860, San Francisco City and County, you got 56,000. So if we just take the 25,000 from 10 years prior, doubled. So in 1 year, 25 times the population. So you could say it was just like immigrants, people looking for gold, uh,
Yeah,
silver miners, whatever.
gold rush.
Yep, you could
People
call it
from
whatever. You can say,
all over the country.
yep.
You know the Oregon Trail, right?
But
Like
this is a
that's
really pretty town for a mining town. This is not what a mining town looked like. Do you know what Carson City is? Carson
maybe.
City, California. Pretty sure it's California. Nevada, sorry, fucking piece of shit. I mean, this is what an actual mining town is. Like, this is where a mining town would be. Like, it's just in the mountains. Um, this is where the Carson City Mint was, obviously. Way far away. So the Comstock lode was actually around here, and you're in San Francisco's here. So this is probably explaining like the did they find Carson City first or did they find San Francisco first? I'm sure there's a little bit of mix of both. Comstock lode would have been. Oh yeah, no, that's a huge coincidence, man. That's actually a really huge coincidence. Cuz like they discovered the Comstock lode in 1859, so they discovered the big Carson City Comstock lode, silver lode 10 years after they had already built this giant massive town that they would need for a gold rush. So that's a really good thing they built that town in time for that discovery. Because within 10 years after that, the population tripled. It's a real good thing they had all these houses built. It's a good thing this fucking building existed. Otherwise, where's all the people gonna go? It's like, what is? I don't know, man. If we can't agree on the churches, then maybe we could agree. Like, what it was that? I can't believe it. I can't. There's nothing about this picture that's cohesive. There's just nothing about it that rings true. Unless somebody just stumbled upon it.
I can't argue for or against. Like
That's what the
I'm
comments are for.
yeah, and that's what I have very limited knowledge on it. I wasn't there, and the knowledge that's available has been logged and recorded by people. and it's just as much as it may not be absolute information, it's still information that we can use to gauge. And if we can't use even, what's the point in keeping the information if we are, uh, I mean, it's good to be critical. Don't get me wrong.
It's just we don't even have pictures of things from the same time period that are remotely as clean, as well built, uh, heterogeneous. Like none of these building styles are cohesive. Like this is just it's the only example that I can find where there's such evidence that says it already existed. Pittsburgh, like if you look at the older maps of like Pittsburgh or something, you could see from like 17 something, like maybe 1690 or something might have been the earliest one I can find, and it goes up to like the 1940, and you can see how like even the plots of land change. But that's the East Coast. That's where they would have landed first. But like again, there's are these gold miners or are these seafarers? Because I'm not going to believe, even if we're going to keep a record, even if we're going to say like, oh, it's an exposure thing, even if we're going to say, oh, those people at the church everyone needed their own church because nobody could stand each other. I'm still just not going to believe that you've got so many skilled people that are skilled in so many things that they can build a city, fare the seas, and mine the stuff all at once. And there's only going to be 1,000 of them to start, because in 10 years, those 1,000 people don't just turn gold into buildings. You don't just throw bodies at it. Can't use slavery as an excuse here because it's the 1800s. And it's just fucking gorgeous. Like these things here, like this window, this cathedral window. Where'd he go? In order,
Those are Native Americans.
It could have been, yeah. It could have been.
Just been gaslighting.
Could have been me. Yep. Those were my people, or it would have been the people that started in New York, which would have been my people.
Mm-hmm.
I love having both sides of being a white victim. It's funny because none of them matter. These casts here, you see on buildings that say they'll tell you in Europe, buildings like this took like 100 years to build, or 3 days. And so I can't even give you a good example of like, this is totally ludicrous because these kinds of buildings exist, because the historical record will say things like, well, yeah, they built that in like an afternoon after playing cornhole during the Steelers game. I actually want to... I'm just curious now. I hope anybody can follow this if they watch this back. This is like the old Twitch VODs. It was just like scrambled, clicking shit, scrolling.
Yeah.
I miss those days, man.
I'm chilling.
I appreciate you chilling. I appreciate you watching too.
Yeah, man.
This has got to be... And then whenever you actually see San Francisco top down, it may not seem like a lot. When you see that panorama, it may seem like a lot. When you think about 1850, it might seem like a long time ago, or it may not. Again, everything's just everything's just fucking warped. It's so warped. And then they built it on like the hardest part to build. They didn't build Oakland first. They built San Francisco first. Stupid idiots! You build the harder one first. It's a good thing they did, because the little did they know they'd end up real fucking stupid real fast. Because in like 50 years, they're just gonna ruin everything. This panorama does catch, I want to say... This is up here. You're gonna have your island. I was gonna say, please tell me that they include the fucking Golden Gate Bridge in this. I just wanna shit on that so bad. But no, it does not appear that they're gonna try to sell me A literal bridge. Thank you. Some respect for my intelligence. Thank you. Yeah, it was just invisible back in the day. Oh. I want to say it was probably out here-ish. No, because here's the ferry building. There's the big downtown. Cable cars. Okay, hold on. Coit Tower. Okay, so here's like a giant old lighthouse tower looking thing. I guarantee we can find that. I bet it's over here. It's one of those. It's one of those towers. I bet it's that one. It's probably camera probably blocking it. Move the camera down. That might be it. Does it look like a giant road going down the... It actually kind of does. Okay, so there's a big church. I see a big church. It's got kind of like some facing us spikes. I'd love to find this one because I think that one's going to be the easiest one to find. It's got two big bulbs. Oh, look, there's one of those old ones. It looks like a crack den. It's just a crack den. Lombard Street's where the windy stairs are, right? In that windy road. Yep. Washington Square. Where's that really? There's a really nice church. Man, there's just like... There's just no reason to live in a city. Holy shit. What an ugly pile. What's this? Big. Oh, I found it. Pretty sure. Oh, man. I don't even think that's it. It might be close, though. This side's like not at... This side's like totally different buildings. There's the dirt shantytown area. That's gotta be the park. That's gotta be that Bay Coast. Because that's gotta be Alcatraz. That's gotta be Alcatraz way off in the distance. Yeah, I think that's it. It would have been taken from like around here-ish. You gotta find where the thing goes downhill. I don't know if they would have been able to get that far back. They were definitely up higher, so like here's a high point. I think that's too far east. Too far east. Polk Street. You see what I'm talking about though? This like... There's like the... It's got to be like at the top of this thing. It's got to be an In-N-Out Burger. That's got to be it. Because there's Alcatraz right there. Yeah, I mean straight up like there's no boats over on the other side. Like Oakland didn't exist yet. They had to build San Francisco first. They had to build the whole thing first. So completionist of you. Okay, so I do think that this is... I think this is the battery for the Mason battery. Mason. It's kind of dug in there. It's kind of hard to find. But I just want to find like one of these churches that's still around. Just to prove that this town wasn't completely leveled. Even though it was conveniently leveled in the San Francisco fire that just happened, like conveniently, like right after this was all built. I'm not even fucking making that up. Oh yes, it was the Paris of the West. So this is 78. Okay, so I was off by what, 20 years? Not an insignificant margin. But damn dog, they really should have finished that one mound. It would have looked so much better if they would have just finished that. Oh man, there was corruption and graft trials. Oh, that's right. It wasn't just a giant fire. It was a fucking earthquake too. They had to destroy it twice. Oh, jeez. Is that a garage? Is that a fucking garage? In 18 something? Is this a horse garage? Damn. It's a nice horse garage. It's a real nice horse garage. I love that there's evidence of lived inness in these like square shacks. You got curtains, drapes, but you don't have any signs of lived in, unless you like maybe that's a drape. I don't really. Dude, the exposure I don't think the exposure thing's an answer. Shadows are too pinpoint. I could just do this for days.
Pinpoint.
Yeah, I mean the shadows. I mean, I could look at this for days, not just point shit out, but I could just look at this for days. Like I could see something new every time. Look at like just how detailed the fencing is up on the top there. The shadows are at the exact time of day that they should be for that picture. Oh, it's really something to behold. The pirate ships are damn impressive too. You got whole ass wharfs. Just give me one building from back in the gap. Give me one building from back then, and I could poke a hole in it. And maybe I should just suck it up and eat the cracker too. Like I don't know, but
I think it can be a combination. And there are just some things that we won't ever fully know until
top of Mark
later.
Hopkins Mansion. Mark Hopkins Mansion is where that picture was taken. How close was I? It's fucking so close. You mean to tell me it was taken from this fucking place? Yeah, sure. I'm sure that was afterwards. Is this the mansion? This kind of looks like a mansion. Damn. San Francisco had a lot of chances to rebuild itself too. That's a little bit more. That's like an added pill that you also have to swallow if you take this story for what it's worth. It was not only destroyed in a fire and rebuilt. It was destroyed by a fire and rebuilt, then destroyed by an earthquake and rebuilt again before 1920 something. So that's just another part of the pill that you got to swallow as well. So take it all with a grain of salt. Just keep in mind the grain of salt is the size of a kitchen table.
That's my sodium for the week.
That's salty as hell. This actually does kind of look like that little park area because they were doing some work there. Like maybe you could say like, okay, here, like there's that park-ish. Like, damn. Grace Cathedral. How long it took it build? How many years? When? Give me one hole. Give me one hole to poke before I jump off stream. I'm itching for that hole to poke. Oh my gosh. It was built, no way, before the fire and earthquake. Oh my god, they recreated that son bitch to be exactly the same. That's crazy. Oh, this is a picture shortly after the earthquake. Cameras were around and that good of a supply at that time. I don't know that for sure. Like I do like to know that stuff, so that's kind of nice. I thought the Lumiere brothers only like fucked with that in like the 1890s or whatever. Give me how many months? I need to see how many months. History was founded during the Gold Rush. Little Grace Pro Cathedral. So you mean to tell me this was built on the new site? So this is the second one they built. They got a lot of time, a lot of effort. Okay, and then we got a failed verification. I've never seen that before. 1862. You got a whole new one already built in 10 years after that. So this church was built like 5 times. That's crazy good for them. That would have been... Wait, is that fuckwit building? That's that crazy shit building. Yeah. So how... It said the church was built again. There's not a church there. The new church was consecrated on... Okay. So there should be another church there. Mark Twain was making fun of the church or something. Okay, so it was destroyed. Okay, so the picture was taken when this church didn't exist because it was already built once and destroyed once. Then they took the panorama and shucks, I couldn't get a picture of it because it was right in between the earthquake and the fire that destroyed the city twice. Shucks. That is it though. That's that damn building. That is so cool. So those steps, yeah, that's awesome. That's actually really cool. That's that same building. That's
changed.
Yeah, that's really cool. So they built that church. Built the church twice in very short amounts of time. Those guys were trucking. Hold on. So this chunk here is more of. So it's like they were building like this strip, sorta. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a really nice house to. Did they just finish that? And then they were like, okay, moving on to the next big mansion right next door. Man, that's just so neat. That's so neat. There's so much in this picture. I'm going to copy that. Let's post that in the chat. Go ahead and put that in the chat ski. Because for anyone that wants to look at this picture, I think this is probably one of the coolest pictures you could look at. And that way YouTube isn't saying that it's copywritten or something, because I'm giving credit to the artist. I know the Freemasons did it. I'm giving them credit. I was actually looking at... I thought that was Alcatraz. Okay, so that's why I was getting borked up. Man, that's really cool. I could look at that shit for days.
That is a good one.
But damn, man. Good stream. Good Bible study. Good talks.
Got a little bit of Bible study in there. Wasn't too challenging or complex this week.
I was going to say, we're getting good at them. We're getting good at
Yeah.
the formats. We're getting really good at that.
Have to decide on what book to do after Daniel.
Even if we just do like a little Christmas one, it's like where we just like look at the story of the three wise men or something.
Sure.
It'd be fun.
I'd like that too.
It is coming up to Christmas time, but you know, maybe see what the old man recommends. If he's got any suggestions, any ideas.
Of course. Talk to him about it.
But yeah, dude, good times, good friend, good chats. I had this
Good
idea
chat.
yesterday. I was like thinking like, oh man, it'd be a really awesome, it'd be a funny joke, like a long running joke where if anyone ever does drop by and they're like, oh yeah, who are you talking to? It'd be like, this is actually, I got like a really advanced AI companion, Sauce AI. And like the joke is gonna be that you're real. It's gonna seem super realistic because you're real.
Even my beeps are realistic.
It's like getting another corgi, naming him Pops, and that way when you see me in 20 years, you say like, what the fuck? Why is he still alive? It's like, yes. Yeah, actually. Yes.
Oh, man.
Palace of Fine Arts, Nurses Station, fun stream, 4 o'clock.